Welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that. I'm Joe.
And I'm Sexual Chocolate,
Ow,
Sexual Seduction, aka
Ow.
Calvin.
ow, ow.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back.
Applause, applause. Gunfire, gunfire.
Boom, 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 boom. Pistol.
Shotgun, shotgun. So, y'all know what it is. We're going to be going over the usual 90 Day to Single Life Tell All Part 2, which was golden.
It's a mess.
Worth the watch is Mean Girls
Mean Girl Murders.
Murders. And also, possibly a little bit of the Moses story on Netflix or whatever
What?
for Easter, 10 Commandments, stuff like that.
I don't know how. We haven't watched it yet, and we are recording. So how is
Moses.
it going to be that?
Who's you supposed to send to me?
It's on the list, though. We've
Who's
caught
she
it on
supposed to send
Netflix.
to me?
What is it called? Do you have the remote?
Man, see, there's a man in a
You
in a
got the
land
remote
called
with you?
Moses. See,
So
no,
we can
I
get the
don't.
actual title?
No, I don't.
Great.
Great.
But there is a retelling of Moses' story on Netflix. It says it's 3 episodes, but don't be fooled. These are movies. There's 3 movies. It's because they're an hour 20 each. So
But first, it's time for that woman who keeps her ears to the streets with all the good goods and gossips of the weeks.
uh-huh.
That happened with Joe. Well.
Oh.
Womp womp womp.
Why is that the noise? Why is that the noise?
I don't know. It just-
That womp womp song, the womp womp
it just,
it's negative. That means something's bad.
it just felt good.
Calvin,
I felt it in my spirit.
why? Okay, so
For
anyway, I'm
Easter.
kicking this off with the grandest news ever. Hoochie Daddy season 2 is out.
Boo! I wish I had a.
Oh.
That's not even a button.
That was a
looking
kiss.
for. I know. I was looking for the boo button, but I don't have one.
That was a
We need to
kiss.
upgrade
The
our
joke
little
is on
panel.
you.
Yeah, we need to upgrade our panel.
Yeah, we do. But I was excited. Hoochie Daddies dropped unceremoniously early part of this week. I think it was a Tuesday or a Wednesday, something random. And it's kicking off on YouTube. Apparently, it's going to air or drop the episodes on YouTube first. So if you follow them on YouTube, it's their website is Get Her Done, which isn't that the joke from a redneck comedian?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's called Get Her Done, but just look up Hoochie Daddy season 2, episode 1. It's going to come right up on YouTube. Allegedly,
Trying so hard to be men.
Calvin, please, no. Anyway,
Shotgun.
pistol. So, allegedly, it's going to drop on YouTube first, and then it's going to drop on Tubi. But I have not seen it drop on Tubi. So I'm wondering how
'Cause
that's going to
Tubi
work.
Dropped it.
I'm going to look it up right now because I definitely had to watch it on YouTube, and I was all kinds of upset. Yeah, there's no season 2 in here. Season 1 only. I don't know when it's dropping to YouTube because, or not to YouTube, to Tubi, because it surely hasn't. So right now, as of this recording, season 2 is only on YouTube right now. It's everything I wanted and more. It's supposed to be Texas edition. Of course, very little people are actually from Texas that are on the show, which is hilarious. Per usual, they are a little bit older. I want to say a lot of, but there's some members of this new cast that are actually in their 30s. I did laugh out loud when the new manager, they also included a new manager for residency and I guess basically activities. She comes out and is like, who's fire signs? All right, and now I know who to keep my eye on. Don't demolish the Airbnb. Hilarious.
So they destroyed the last couple.
That's what it sounds like because they hired a whole person to watch them. So I don't. And the highlight was everybody got beds this season. Technically, everybody had beds last season. Did they all have rooms? No, but they definitely all had beds. Just one slept in a closet.
Because she was trying to keep it in the closet.
No, she wasn't. She was very upset that she had to sleep in a closet. So
Something about you, baby.
I really hope they keep the tradition of just renting regular ass houses in regular ass neighborhoods. I want that to be a staple. I want them to keep doing that. Keep doing that and literally have these events and activities in the backyard of that house. Please.
So these
Continue.
So these women men can come in here with all this. First of all, they all were already drunk before they got there.
Yes.
They came in drunk.
Accurate.
That's as far as I got.
Worth its weight in gold. If you liked Hoochie Daddy season 1, please check out Hoochie Daddy season 2 on YouTube. Eventually, it's making its way to Tubi. I don't know when, but you can absolutely catch this episode by episode as it's dropping.
Yeah, girl, what's your name? My name is Sunfire.
Sunfire?
Yeah, Sunfire.
That doesn't make sense.
My name is Day OJ. Day OJ is your name? Yeah, that's my name. I'm from Dade County. Say what, Dade? Ooh.
There's somebody who's from Memphis, and she said, Afghanistan. And I said, I have not heard this
I'm
before.
from Afghanistan. You know what I'm here, Playboy?
I have not heard this before.
Play girl. You know what I'm saying, play girl?
Wasn't there something else that considered themselves to be like Iraq? Was it Detroit?
Yeah. No.
D-Rack or
Chirac.
something? Chirac, Chicago.
So let y'all know y'all in the house now, you know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see who to get the Hoochie Daddy chain, you know what I'm saying? Get the Hoochie Daddy tattoo on the neck, you know what I'm saying? And a trip to Aruba, you know what I'm saying?
You know
All
what?
paid first class trip to Aruba.
I'm making it an
Sorry.
executive decision. Hoochie Daddies is going to get added to our roster of shows because we're missing another show right now. So.
Not first class? Oh. I'm sorry. Business economy class, Spirit first class, Spirit lines.
Spirit
to
doesn't have
Aruba.
first class.
You know what I'm saying? Spirit to Aruba, you know what I'm saying? So that's the Hoochie Daddies for season 2, but you gonna win. So who's gonna be the big time Hoochie Daddy for season 2 now?
I have more questions because a lot of these ladies are in relationships. How are you a Hoochie Daddy in a relationship? Well, I guess you could be.
Why will Hoochie Daddies have any morals?
That's what I'm saying. Because some of them seem like they're
This
invested.
is your show. I'm asking you.
I'm excited. Hoochie Daddies season 2 is out. So excited. Watch it on YouTube. I will add it to the roster. You're going to get some recaps starting next week.
When I hit it from the back, it go flocka, flocka, flocka.
On to the Diddy of it all, who seemingly is just continuously to take that.
Do what, Diddy?
Diddy, in case you did not know, had a raid done on his LA and Miami mansions by the DHS. That's the Department of Homeland Security. That is, what the hell is happening? You're not even the feds. What's going on right now?
Could have been because they heard about trafficking.
What does that got to do with Homeland Security and not FBI?
It could be they think they're trafficking girls from another country or whatever.
Which would extend it to Homeland Security? That's very interesting.
And 2, they probably were closest. Take that.
So people are speculating about what this means for Diddy to have this raid. This is after a series of cases have gone against him. New York last year passed a law that allowed people who were previously victimized by perpetrators to open up cases against them under this new law, but they had to do it before the end of last year, I believe. There was a small window to do it and to push it through. And unfortunately, Diddy is being talked about the most right now because he's getting case after case after case after case. His latest case, which is from a former producer who we discussed previously in another episode, this guy named Rodney, don't remember his last name, but he recently amended his suit against Diddy. It's very interesting what's happening to Diddy right now. But everybody's talking about the raid because they were going by land, by air, and by sea to look at these houses and get them. And Diddy was not present, but his sons were.
They attacked that dude like Cobra attacked G.I. Joe.
That is what they were saying. Like somebody yelled Cobra and they went for it. It was a whole thing. But also it was like, what? And they ramshackled that place. They don't gently go in there and they're like, all right, we're just going to neatly pack these into boxes. They wreck your shit. And
I just want to do one raid so I can just break people's lamps for no reason.
Just start punching holes into walls.
And then just like cut up their couch
Looking for contraband. Looking for contraband.
Sir, why'd you cut up the couch?
Why is the wall missing? We wanted to make sure. Okay.
That's what I thought.
I thought I saw powder coming out. I wanted to know.
I wasn't looking for nothing. I was just trying to do damage.
I wasn't looking for nothing. Listen, but so Diddy and his lawyers are saying that this was a overuse of military power and that there might have been a hidden agenda by tipping off the media because all of a sudden the media was aware that this was happening before the raid even started. Other people are arguing that Diddy is a known celebrity who's had a lot of the spotlight on him very recently. So, it's a wonder that people who would already be keeping an eye on him are now like, why are all these cops headed your way? What's going on?
I tell you who tipped off the media. The media. That's who tipped off the media.
It's very
We don't
interesting.
have to think about that.
I also like that they're trying to treat this like Diddy's a regular person. We all know he's not. So
It's not a conspiracy theory.
really isn't. There's photos of his sons being detained, and it's people being like, "Yo, he just left his sons," still because Diddy wasn't there for the raids for either one. He was very conveniently on a flight on his private jet with his daughters, allegedly, for their spring break trip that was already planned, allegedly. So who knows? But there's photos of his sons getting handcuffed and escorted from the mansion. So, uh, but have you seen the responses from 50 Cent yet?
No.
I found out recently listening to another podcast. It is the podcast by somebody on TikTok that I follow who's I'm not a lawyer, but if you follow that at all, check out the podcast. It's really, really good. But they go into more detail about how like 50 Cent actually has some personal beef with Diddy, and that might be why he's also being super petty in these Twitter streets. Talking about how it was a matter of time before Diddy got caught. I told y'all this was coming his way, and further pushing the allegation that federal feds don't move unless they already have a nice case against you, meaning they already have some kind of evidence against you, and they just need supporting evidence to further push this.
No. They already got evidence. That's the only reason the federal do anything. Because it's easier, believe it or not, it's easier to get off from Fed charges than it is state. So when the feds move, they got evidence.
Why is it? It's easier to get off, so it's easier to dispute that. You're
Because
saying?
for federal, they need so much to actually go after you because they use methods and stuff that pretty much a lot of other agencies don't use sometimes. So
Are they
when
legal? They're not legal.
they're and they have to go through so much hoops to
Okay.
get things
Okay.
approved.
Okay.
So when they come for you, they already got evidence.
Okay, because they already had jumped through all those hoops to get to that point.
Yeah, they have to jump through so many hoops to get to that point.
Okay.
That's what I mean. That's what
Okay.
I should say. That's what I mean.
Okay.
They already
They got a lot of red tape to
yeah,
get
they
through.
got to run a
before they
lot
can even
of red tape to
get to
through
the rating
to
part.
even investigate.
Okay. Okay.
So by the time they get through all those red tape and they're kicking down doors,
Yeah.
they have evidence. All they're doing now is trying to just get as much as they can to
Mhm.
make sure that
What they already have built
built
is now supported by this other stuff.
is already technically is already they already got. They're just seeing what else they can find. That's all. When they're kicking down doors, they're just seeing what else they can find.
Okay.
That's all they're really doing.
Mhm.
But you better be assured they already got what they need. They just want to see if there's something else. Or somebody tipped them off that, hey, he got this, this, and this at these residents and these residents. Oh, really?
Mhm.
Let's go through the red tape. Okay, boom. Now we're going to kick it down doors.
Mhm.
Whereas the police, they can make up shit and just kick doors down and then apologize for it next week.
Mhm.
Whereas the FBI can't do that. They go through so much red tape, so they already got evidence.
Mhm.
Before they even move, they already got evidence. They
Right.
already got something. So they already got you for something.
Right.
Now they're trying to pretty much get as much as they can now.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Well, they went through 2 mansions. I hope they found something.
So all they're doing is just looking for extra stuff that they probably missed.
So the other thing is, people are talking about how Cassie, in her previous statements in her lawsuit against Diddy, was talking about how Diddy seemed to videotape everything. He seemed to have videos of everything.
So
There was an instance where she found a video of the latest dealings that he had her do with another person, and she deleted it from her phone, thinking that was the only source of it. And when she ended up getting back on the plane with him, he pulled it up to play on the plane, like to show her, I still have this video.
So that leads you to believe
Allegedly.
somebody on the inside told them, Yeah, they got more. He got more tapes. So they
Well,
were just going
so
in there to get the rest of the
so
stuff.
rumor mill is that Cassie is working with feds. That's the rumor mill, that Cassie's working with feds. As we've learned very recently, NDAs do not protect people from crime. So if you are criming, you can still talk about whatever they told you were prohibited from in an NDA if they're crimes, if they're doing crimes. So,
And I don't really pay attention to what 50 do. 50 is a professional troller.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing all this like haha in your face stuff and then it loops back at him. That would be hilarious.
I'm pretty sure at some point it's gonna punch him in the
Something's going to
face.
come his way.
But
So,
that is what it
but
is.
there's also allegations that there's another person that works for Diddy, this white guy, that they're allegedly getting on like drug trafficking. Apparently, he was like the go-to drug guy. However, rumor mill is that he's alleging that Diddy supplied all that for him,
Do what, Diddy?
and he might be the inside guy in a deal he may have brokered with the feds to get them to drop whatever.
Look like Brother Love gonna get a lot of love in the Fed prison.
Well, did you see all the memes about Diddy joining R. Kelly?
Ooh, they gonna crush the talent show.
It's everybody singing that twin "Where Have You Been" song.
They be crushing it. Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Christmas play gonna be off the chain this year, with Diddy producing and R. Kelly making the beats and singing and playing lead.
You think he's going down this year?
No,
They'd have to go to trial, get the conviction,
No.
and sentence him
no,
for this to happen this year.
he's not going to jail. He's gonna probably get probation.
Oh, you think after all of this, it's going to be
Yeah,
probation?
He's gonna get probation.
That would be very
He's
interesting.
not going to jail.
Well, okay, and then if you follow the Illuminati rumor mill, somebody has to take a fall right now. Allegedly, it's due for somebody to take a big fall.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why?
Why does anything happen with Illuminati? I don't know.
Illuminati's biggest recruiting tool or biggest thing is that people keeping them alive. There's no such thing as Illuminati. It's not even okay. Whatever. Moving on. It's not. It's a bunch of rich people who probably in different clubs.
Honestly, right now, I feel like Illuminati is just a title that we're using to describe the inner workings of how people are making their decisions. In my opinion, that's what I feel
The
like
inner workings of
Illuminati is.
The people at the top. That's all it is.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
But either way, who knows?
Whatever. They're a secret.
The other thing I wanted to touch on,
secret society, but everybody knows who the hell they are. Get the hell out of here.
the other thing I wanted to touch on was all of these women that are gunning for Diddy right now, talking about he needs prayers and support. I am confusion about that as well. First of all, we don't know Diddy like that. Secondly, what? Thirdly,
they're trying to take that.
for what? For why? For what?
Because he told
For
you
why?
that he won't stop. He told you that he won't stop.
For why? Anyway, so all of that's going down. And that's really all I've got for that happened. Unless you have
Because-
anything else you want to add.
Because haters gonna hate, lovers gonna love.
Oh, one more thing. Where is Farnsworth Bentley? Where's Farnsworth Bentley?
Illuminati. Firmly, I heard that Illuminati has snatched him up, so he won't testify against Diddy. That's the rumor mill.
That's what you heard?
Allegedly.
Where is he? I want to know. Where's his wife? She's an actress. He has to know dirt. He has to know dirt. In case you don't know who Farnsworth Bentley is, if for some reason you're listening to this and you're younger than us, Farnsworth Bentley used to be Diddy's personal assistant, and he made a name for himself as Diddy's personal assistant. He would dress
and
up.
sometimes side chick.
That's the rumor. He used to dress to the nines, and he was known for carrying this umbrella.
I was just messing around. I did not know that.
He was known for dressing to the nines, and he used to carry this umbrella. And at first, everybody was just thought he was he made a name for himself as being a very stylish personal assistant for Diddy. And then it slowly but surely turned into like a mini music career. He had one song that I can think of. I don't know if he ever had any other songs.
Everybody.
And it was with Outkast and somebody else.
Kanye West.
Okay, yep. Yes, those people.
Two of the best rappers of that time on this one song.
2? It wasn't Big Boy wasn't on it?
No.
It was just Andre?
Yep.
Oh, wasn't there somebody else?
Andre had a verse. Kanye pretty much did the hook. And I guess, I don't know if he did the beat or Andre did the beat.
There was
but
only
that's
3
it.
of them? I thought there was
Yeah.
more people.
No, it was them 3. And they were like a singing group or whatever.
And
supposedly.
but it was just the one song. I don't know if he
Yeah.
had a full album. I don't know if he had more singles. And then he disappeared off the earth.
Oh, you bullshitting. That song was kind of dope.
It was dope. It was good. That's why we thought more stuff was going to be happening, and then nothing happened. So, but where is he now? The world wants to know. But that's it for real now. That's it. You got anything else?
Nada.
Okay. Do you want to get into the tell-all first, or do you want to quickly go over the worth the watch?
I thought we'd do worth the watch next.
Okay. Our worth the watch this week was Mean Girl Murders, which we found on HBO Max. It has 2 seasons. The second season just started, but we are finally watching things in order. So we've been watching the first season, and we watched the first 3 episodes, or I should say I watched the first 3 episodes. What do you think of the concept overall, Calvin?
It's a bunch of mean girls who eventually end up killing somebody.
Just like the title, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is.
But it's different scenarios of Mean Girl. So it's not like just a high school clique. It's a biker gang, or it's
Starts in high school, ends in after college.
who was the after college?
The last girl that was in that was
The
fighting
goth
over that,
one?
Yeah, was fighting over that dude.
That wasn't after college. She was still in high school.
No, they were out of high school.
The other group was, because remember, she's younger than them. So we're talking about the third episode.
Wait.
There's a goth clique
Wait. Oh,
of
I'm
mean girls.
confused. She was younger than them,
Yes.
so they were out of school.
Yes.
She was, but their friends said they was living together, and she was working at this place.
Yes. She had a housemate. Yeah.
Yeah, so she was done with school.
No.
She was in college.
No.
I think you got some stuff.
No.
mixed up.
So she's younger. Again, she's younger than them. She was supposed to graduate 2003. Okay. Following? Tracking.
Sure.
The people she's hanging out with graduated 2001. Okay. Following?
Yes.
Tracking? Cool. I don't know what year she died, but she's like a good 2 or more years younger than them. But it's a small town, and she thought she was close friends with them. So that's why she was hanging around them so much.
Whatever. Sure.
Anyway, so we're finding out these stories basically of these girls who kind of put their trust in the wrong people, and then they die. They lose their lives to these other women or these other young girls. And it's very interesting that when we are talking about the high school clique, so the very first episode is a high school clique. It's like girls who feel that they were like the popular girls, basically, and this new comer who comes into the group via a boyfriend. Do you remember the details of that first one? Because that's the one I want to talk about.
They're all running together. In my head.
The very first episode for Mean Girl Murders centers around a young lady in high school. Everybody talks about how nice she was and how gorgeous she was and how she was so perfect. And she starts dating this high school jock. And they're very clear to point out that this is a blonde white woman or blonde white young lady who's dating a black guy. And at first they're happy, but then she starts running with his crew, which includes these other girls, including an ex, a girl that used to date this black guy. And at first it seems like it's okay, but it quickly becomes not okay. Our main girl, the blonde girl, and the ex-girlfriend start clashing. They actually have history. They used to be friends back in the early primary school days, elementary school. They had some sort of falling out around middle school, and into high school they just weren't talking to each other. Like, they were okay with each other, but they weren't like friends. But now that she's dating this new guy, she's kind of in that person's circle again, the ex-girlfriend circle, who she has this history with. And so they have these little cat fights, these little petty fights back and forth here and there. Fast forward, there's a party that happens. They go to this party, and it turns out a fight's going to break out, basically. At first, everybody's at the party. the blonde girl has decided she's going to break up with her jock boyfriend at this point. She's about to graduate and go off to college, and for her own reasons, she's decided that she is not going to be with this guy anymore. So they break up, but when she goes to this party, her and the ex-girlfriend get into it. Like they get into a bad fight, like a physical fight with each other. And at first, people are like, maybe it's over the boyfriend, but then it sounds like it's a buildup of a bunch of things of them just not liking each other or feeling like each other's being replaced. So they get into this fight, and then the blonde girl, when the fight finally breaks up, the ex boyfriend actually jumps in there and drags the blonde girl away from the fight because she gets pinned under the ex girlfriend. So the jock breaks it up, pulls the girl away. As he pulls her away towards the recycling bins, she doesn't get up right away. And then when she finally does get up, she falls back down and she starts convulsing, and they think she's having a seizure of some sort. And they rush her into a car and take her to the hospital. When they get her to the hospital, it turns out she's got life-threatening wounds somehow. She's been punctured all in her stomach and her chest. And they don't know what this is from because nobody saw her get punctured by anything. They didn't see a weapon at all during this fight. Unfortunately, homegirl loses her life. Then it becomes a cold case because then it's like, how did this happen? How did it escalate to where it got to? Where's the murder weapon for this? Because now it's a murder. Homegirl died. For years, there's nothing. The police are doing interviews with the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, the girl she fought with, other people who were at the party. Nobody really knows, or at least is not saying, how this happened, how this broke down. And the stories aren't really differing until they start talking to another source. There's another guy who was at the party who kind of fingers the blame at the jock boyfriend, who's like, he told me to say this. He told me not to say that the ex-girlfriend was involved at all, yada, yada, yada. But when the police question him further, they come up with dead ends, basically. He doesn't change his story. It's still the same stuff. And most everybody else corroborates it. Years pass. I want to say a good 10 years almost passes. And the cousin of the girl who died has never given up on this. She's been trying to find other angles for them to reopen the cold case in order to keep it, moving. And she's been coming up with dead ends on her own. But then she finds the friend, the bestie, that her cousin got in a fight with. Because apparently that girl went ghost. Like after all the other investigations kind of ran cold, she disappeared. But the cousin finds her in another state. So they reopen the cold case, and an investigator ends up going to that girl's house to question her further. The cold case agent who's talking about the investigation says that in his experience with cold cases, time actually helps him because depending on the person he's talking to, the guilt of what happened has weighed on them for so long, they're easier to talk to. They start admitting stuff a little bit easier.
I'll tell you what you want to know, bitch.
So when he goes to talk to the girl that fought with the person who passed, she looks stressed, but she's talking to him.
She's bald-headed?
No, but she looks stressed.
I thought she make your hair fall out. Guess not.
It gets to a point where he's like, okay, let's go over the fight again. And he starts talking about the fight. And he's like, did you at all ever carry a weapon on you? Did you have like a pen or anything like that? And she's like, no, I don't have a pen, but I used to carry a pocket knife. Like she just gives that information up freely. She's never mentioned this in any of the previous interviews that she's done with police or the previous questioning at all.
I do the pocket knife.
So then he's like, okay, can I see the pocket knife? And she goes, sure. And she goes and gets the pocket knife and gives it to him. And of course he runs it for tests and everything. And there's nothing on there genetically, or I should say DNA wise, that would link it to the murder. But then another witness comes to light. A friend that was in the car with the ex-girlfriend who got in the fight with the girl who passed, she remembers the pocket knife. And she talks about how when they were on their way to the party, the bestie, the ex-girlfriend, turned around to her and was like, hey, hold my pocket knife. The girl who's telling this story talks about how she's familiar with the bestie always having a pocket knife on her because she said she needed it for protection. Mind you, they're in a small town. I don't know what's happening that we need pocket knives.
Bitches be crazy.
But she said it was out of the norm for her to be like, hold my pocket knife. She was like, but she didn't think anything of it. She was like, okay, whatever. So she put it in her purse. They went to the party. The other girl showed up. When the other girl shows up, they were actually about to leave because the party had been going on for a minute before the victim actually shows up. So the friend thought they were leaving. So she was headed back to the car when the ex-girlfriend goes, hey, give me my pocket knife back. She doesn't think anything of it. So she takes the pocket knife out of her purse and hands it back to that girl. And then she gets in the car because she thinks she's about to leave. And then that's when the fight kicks off. So basically, the cold case agent has a witness that places the suspect with the weapon, at least having the weapon in their possession when the fight kicks off. So then he asks her, did you use this pocket knife on this girl? And she confesses. And that's how they get her. It goes to trial. She's serving right now. They said if she's on good behavior, she'll get out in 2030. But her cousin gets justice for our victim. It was a wild roller coaster of a ride, man. A wild roller coaster of a ride. The other thing is, everybody at school knew that this girl did it. And they I don't want to say they made her life a living hell, but she was an outcast. I could see why she left and moved. She didn't even finish her senior year. Everybody believed that she killed that girl. And they were right. They were correct.
Whatever. But I watched episode 2. Episode 2 is pretty much this.
Episode 2 is what?
It's about a girl who pretty much joins like a biker gang.
Yeah.
First of all, her story is crazy. So when she was a kid, her brother decides he's gonna throw a fastball rock at her head.
That's not what happened.
Crack her skull.
He was throwing rocks.
He did a fast pitch to her head and damn near killed her.
I thought the story was he was just like chucking rocks, like just throwing rocks as hard as he could, and she got in the path of one, is what I heard. Or what I thought.
No.
Or was he literally throwing them at her?
I'm pretty sure that dude turned around, threw a rock, but he just decided to throw it at the speed of Nolan Ryan or what's that bit? The tall I can't remember the tall pitcher name from play for the Diamondbacks. I can't remember his name. He was like 6'7", 6'8".
I don't know.
That fast.
Do you have a mullet? Do you have a curly mullet?
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
I can't remember his name.
Look at me knowing sports.
He decided to throw it that fast at her head when she was a kid. Pretty much cracked her skull, and she got what happened? She pretty much lost her memory or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now
she suffered a TBI, which is a traumatic brain injury.
So now she's like having episodes and all this stuff.
What kind of episodes? Like seizures?
Seizures and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So she has to deal with that for the rest of her life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well that kind of explains a lot of the reckless decisions she makes later. But
yeah,
okay.
That's why she said she was living so reckless, like she had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Because in her mind,
she had a limited time.
Yeah. So pretty much she grows up, has like 2 kids, and then she just starts making all these reckless decisions and stuff. She pretty much known like a badass at some Albuquerque biker
club bar.
And she hooks up with these other girls who are just
who run the bar.
Who are just as crazy as she is.
Well, crazier.
Long story short, it's this one guy who's known to be a rapist and a molester.
That's not a long story short. He's a blip in the story.
But he was trying to hit on her, I guess, her friend.
Well, okay, first of all, you got to add the context that she has decided to take on the role of like vixen for this bar group. She basically invites herself to this this biker club. The girls are already on edge by the fact that she's so extroverted already. The girls that are running this club, basically, but they're like, okay, she's crazy like us. We'll keep it moving. This girl is hopping around from like guy to guy, so they call her a flirt. But she's making it like
she's
really.
A whore.
That is what they eventually call her. But basically, she's like living her best life. She's making out with who she wants to make out with, and having a grand old time. Then fast forward to her meeting. There's another guy who's friends with this clique of bikers, and he's known for being abusive.
And a rapist.
Yeah.
So I guess he liked her friend. Somehow.
Yeah, he was talking to her friend and abusing that friend.
Somehow, her and that guy ended up alone.
Yeah.
She then makes up the story that the dude raped her.
I don't know about makes up.
Long story short, she says the dude raped her. No one knows if it's true or false.
They don't want to say that it's true because they've been slut shaming her this entire time.
So,
but it's not beyond that guy to do it. So I don't understand.
So they get mad, dude, and all of a sudden, so I guess the boyfriend who she had, somehow that dude just ends up dead. From what I get from the story.
What boyfriend now? What are you talking about?
She had a boyfriend at the time that she said that dude raped her. She had a boyfriend.
I'm already lost right now. She had the one boyfriend, and that's the guy who witnessed what happened to her.
Yes.
He didn't die.
What I'm saying to you, no, the guy who she said raped her mysteriously just died.
No, they don't know he died. He disappeared. His body was found years later.
Okay, he disappeared.
But he disappeared off the face of Earth.
They blame her for it. So now, I guess the head girl.
They don't blame her for it.
Yeah, they blame her for something.
I don't think you watched this episode the way you think you did.
They blame her for the guy being missing. That's why they kidnap her and start beating her up.
That happened way later.
They thought she had something to do with it. When you go back and watch the episode, that's why they go after her, because they think she has something to do with it.
His disappearance.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they were mad at her because they really liked him.
I thought they were mad at her because she started putting the moves on the head girl's guy.
No. That might have been one of the reasons, but the main reason they say is because that dude disappears, and they really like that dude, and they blame her for his disappearance because they don't know what happened to him.
I'm going to agree to disagree because I don't think you watched this episode the way you think you did.
Watch the episode. I'm going to be right, and she's going to have to apologize in front of all you guys next week. That's what we're going to do. So, I guess the lead girl decides they're going to kidnap this girl and interrogate her. They kidnap her and her boyfriend and interrogate her. One of the girl, I forgot her name, she's beating her up.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it. So she's missing now she's missing. She hasn't seen her kids in about a week. Her mom says, hey, call around, seeing anybody seen her. They say no. So her mom calls the police. So when she calls the police, she puts out a missing persons, whatever. So now the police are investigating this girl missing. He starts interviewing the biker people. And for some reason, they start kind of telling him what happened to her.
They start bragging.
Well, yeah, bragging. So he's going
But it's also been a nice length of time. This didn't happen like 1, 2, 3. She disappears. Everybody's looking for her. It's been a nice bit of time before he gets them talking.
So now they're talking. So basically, they pretty much telling themselves of what happened. The one girl who beat her up said she tried to choke her, but she just couldn't do it and finish it. So finally, I guess the main guy, some old dude named Papa, I think his name was Papa or something like that, finally tells the girl move out the way, and he hits the girl in the head with a hammer, instantly kills her. They take and dump her body, and that's pretty much how that one ends. They find her in the bushes because he's like the coyotes got her now, and they find her. And they pretty much charge the old guy. He gets life in prison. The girl who was beating her up, doing interrogation, beating her up, she got 25 years. And the girl who put the whole plan together, the kidnap, only got like 6, which I think she should have got more because it was her goddamn plan.
But she didn't do the actions in it.
Oh yeah, she left after they got to the house.
Right. So she had intent, but she didn't follow with any action.
So that's the second episode. It's pretty much Albuquerque, New Mexico, where that happened at.
Calvin's right. I just looked it up. You can actually look it up. The suspect or the killer, or not the killer, the victim.
Say it again? What?
The victim for this is Tiffany Boyer. You're clapping for the victim? Your timing is terrible.
Because I'm right.
Your timing is terrible. But no, yeah, if you look it up, it does say it was connected to the disappearance of that guy. His name was Robert McGuire,
Yep.
and they
So
blamed her for his disappearance. You're right.
so the girl they killed name
Now you
was
should do the applause. He's raising his hands like a psycho.
so the girl who was killed was named Tiffany, right?
Yeah.
And the girl who hatched the plan, her name started with an S, I think.
It doesn't say the name of the perpetrators. Stephanie?
Okay. Stephanie. Stephanie was the one that was choking the girl and beating the girl up.
Here's what I got out of that second episode. When they kidnapped her, they also took her boyfriend and locked him in a closet. So he heard everything that they were doing to her and couldn't do anything
And
at
then was
all.
afraid to tell because he'd have been next.
That's insane. He says it took years before he finally stopped hearing her screams every time he closed his eyes. That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
What was crazy to me is the girl bragging about beating her up, but her hands were tied.
I would think that's crazy, except time had passed. So, at least according to this article, at least a year or more had passed. So, I'm sure she's thinking, plus, he made sure, because he was a cold case investigator as well. So, he's not local PD or anything. So, I'm sure she's thinking, oh, I got away with it. There's no,
No,
I don't got to worry about it.
no. For the reason I said that for me is because she's acting like she was fighting this girl head up, and she was just whooping this girl ass and choking her out. That's what she make it seem like.
Well,
To me, her cockiness to me made it seem like her and that girl was fighting straight up, and she was just whooping that girl ass.
I didn't take it that way. I took it as
That's
her.
how I took it. That's how I took it.
I took it as her being like, I was in a place of power. Like, this girl can do anything. She couldn't stop me from what I wanted to do with her. That's how I took it. Not
I-
necessarily that it was, because clearly it wasn't an even fight. She tells him, we sat her down and tied her to the chair. To the chair.
But to me, the way she was talking, and she's like, "Yeah, I was wailing on her ass, beating her ass. She couldn't do nothing about it."
Mhm.
I'm like, "You talking like it was a fair fight?"
I,
To me,
I could see how that's your perspective, but I just took it as her being like, I was in control of all of it. I was in control of all of it, and she couldn't do anything. Because I know on a girl fighting point, that's usually what we're after, is who's in control.
Whatever. All I know is she was big and bad until it was time to try to kill her. She couldn't do it.
Well, I mean, it saved her time though, didn't it? She ended up not having to serve as much.
So that's pretty much for the first two episodes of Mean Girls
Did you want to talk about the third one?
Murders. We didn't even. Oh yeah, we did. So quickly, it was another one where pretty much. Didn't we talk about this one kind of loosely?
We talked about a goth girl because we were fighting about how young she was, but we didn't talk about the actual case.
If you want to go through it right quick, you can.
So this is an early 2000s Mean Girls School Edition one, but they're talking about the goth kids. So they're talking about how all these cliques were existing in the early 2000s because that was a thing. And if you didn't belong to any of the several different cliques that may have existed, reference Clueless if you're wondering what these cliques were. If you didn't follow any of that, you could hang with the goth kids. The goth kids were basically the catch-all for everybody who felt like an outcast, who felt different. And one of the youngest
Represent my
people
clique.
to come and help, or not come, but to come join them, this girl named Kelly. She kind of becomes friends with this group. They're in a tiny town again. This is Albuquerque, New Mexico. No, is it? I don't know.
No, the last one was Albuquerque, New Mexico.
But either way, it's a small town, so she's hanging out with this
I think
group.
this one is like California somewhere.
I don't know that it's California. I don't know that it's California, Kelly. Let me see. But anyway, so she hangs out with this goth group,
Give me the remote.
and
Thank you.
she thinks everything's moving nicely. She doesn't realize that slowly but surely they are distancing themselves from her. Unfortunately, the other part of being in a clique is that there's got to be somebody that everybody hates for that clique to sustain. Unfortunately,
Why?
that is just how it works at this time, especially at this time when we were not talking about mental health and open communication at all. It was absolutely power struggles and power dynamics. And who do we all think we get along with, and who can we count as the person that we don't get along with, but who's still part of this clique, basically. And it becomes Kelly. But she is, according to other people that are talking about her, she doesn't realize this at all. Like her awareness of the change that's happening socially with these people, she's not checking it at all. And then, or at least they don't think she is. But then they're also talking about how she becomes like almost their stalker. She shows up to places that she wasn't invited to. She's calling them all the time because this is the early 2000s and we're still calling everybody. We didn't have text messaging. Um, so she seems quote unquote needy, but really she's like, all these people weren't my close friends, and now all of a sudden they're not acting like my friends. And then to add to that, she's kind of in this side relationship with one of the guys in this group.
This goes down in Redland, California.
Redlands, California.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm especially correct about these clicks. So she is having a secret relationship with one of the guys in this clique, who's technically dating another person in this clique. And she's telling her best friend about it and how she's really excited to be talking to this guy. Mind you, she's younger than these people by like a year or two, if not a little bit more.
We also got a discussion about the relationship. The guy.
Yeah, the guy. So the guy has a steady girlfriend that's in the same group, but he's also messing with Kelly on the side. But in public, he is humiliating Kelly like every chance he gets. It's him leading the charge to pick her apart with the group as this is going on and on. And she's confused because when they're not in front of all these people, he is so sweet to her because he can do whatever he wants with her. And then in public, he's like, get away from me, you're the worst, blah, 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 blah. She takes to LiveJournal, which took me back in a big way. LiveJournal, in case you don't know what the heck that is the precursor to Wattpad. And if you don't know what Wattpad is, that is a precursor to AO3. That's Archives of Our Own. Technically, Archives of Our Own has been around for a little bit. I'm going to fully nerd out for you right now. But basically, think of it as a forum where you can just publicly post like diary entries, basically. Fan fiction. Anything you want to write, you can post it there.
Facebook without the face.
Not really Facebook, because you can't do long journal entries in Facebook.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Not really. Not back then. Facebook didn't exist. So, Facebook doesn't come out to 2008. LiveJournal existed for a while. So,
Dear Diary.
On LiveJournal, which is a public-facing system, by the way. So, she's making sure that everybody sees what she's typing. But she just starts typing stuff about how her and this guy are meant to be. So sorry to the others, kind of stuff like bragging, pettiness, girl things up to early 2000s. The girlfriend doesn't take kindly to this, of course, and she's typing stuff back. And then one day, Kelly goes missing. Unfortunately, that's the trend for some of these cases. This girl's around, and then all of a sudden she's not around, and people are concerned and asking questions and wondering what the heck is going on. She's not showing up for work. Her housemates haven't seen her in a minute. Her family hasn't heard from her. They're like, what is going on? They go to do a search, and they discover her body like that, like so fast, so quickly. They find her. And now it's a murder case. Now they got to figure out what's going on.
They find a bullet and a little mini shovel at the crime scene.
Not a mini shovel. I'm trying to figure out if this was also a cold case that they then have to go back and reinvestigate, but I don't think they did. Do you remember?
Not really.
Okay.
I just remember to get to the end. So they thought the girlfriend did it, but she had alibi and she didn't do it. They went to investigate the boyfriend, but he had an alibi that he was hanging with one of their friends at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, him and the friend decided to call her out to some little hole or something out in the middle of nowhere. And he just pointed a gun at her and shot her. Pretty much.
Yeah, he said he was joking, but it's a loaded gun. It's a loading gun that he pressed to her forehead and pulled the trigger on.
So basically, the friend that he used as his alibi ended up being a friend that went with him when he killed Did she help her kill her girl?
No, Kinsey was the girl that was with him, which
Yeah,
was not the
Kinsey.
girlfriend.
Yeah, it's not the girlfriend.
Girlfriend was
That's what I'm saying.
Elodie.
That's what I'm saying. I said it was a friend. It was one of their friends. It wasn't the
So
ex-girlfriend.
crazy.
It was
But
their
this was the
friend
other girl that was also torturing
torturing her.
Yeah.
It was like her birthday, and they were taking her out, and they were torturing her while they were taking her out.
They were making fun of her and ripping into her like hardcore.
So he went, and his alibi was that he's with another one of their friends,
hmm
which was Kinsey, and that was an alibi. It checked out, but somehow I guess the investigator double backed, and then no, he went and searched the house and found a bullet that matched the bullet that was at the crime scene.
Uh-huh.
They take that bullet because they already knew he had
Gun.
a gun like a 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
So they matched that bullet. That bullet was identical to the bullet that was found at the crime scene to kill him. I guess they go back and tell him, and I guess they break down and tell what happened.
But it took I want to say it took a year for
Took
them to
about a
to
year,
get to
yeah.
do all that.
Seems like to me, the only reason police solve crimes is because bad guys tell on themselves or give them all the evidence. Oh, just keep evidence.
It's not like Matlock. It's not
Exactly.
like
It's not like Matlock.
It's not like
Matlock
NCIS.
lied to me all those years as a
It's
kid.
not like NCIS.
I was like, damn, Matlock is the smartest guy on the planet.
They're not wrapping this up in an hour.
I'm like, geez, Matlock is good. No, criminals are just that dumb. Pretty much all of these crimes are solved because A, people tell them themselves, or they keep some of the evidence in their rooms in a diary of what happened
So
for some reason.
her killer's name was Damien Matthew Guerrero.
Damian?
He was granted parole recently,
Great for him.
but he served close to 20 years.
So he's like 60.
No, no, he was. So he graduated 2002. So he was 18 or 19 in 2002, and then they put him away around 2003, 2004. So no, he's our age. So Calvin's making hand gestures. I don't know what he's doing.
I'm asking for time, lady. That's what I'm doing. God, we got to work on our signals around here. Jeez Louise.
Doesn't matter. So would you say this is worth the watch?
Yeah, because it's true crimes to me. I like true crimes. I don't know why I like to watch people killing. A, it keeps me alive.
Head on a swivel at all
B,
times.
I know to look for if someone else decides to go postal around me.
You know what I've learned?
I know the
Don't be
signs.
pleasant to people is what I learned. Don't be somebody that everybody's like, she was the best person. She was such a beautiful, wonderful person. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Be the bitch.
The end?
The end. Just
I
saying.
guess.
The commonality is like, she was this beautiful, nice person. She was so wonderful. And then people just be doing things they shouldn't be doing. Doing things they shouldn't be doing.
So we're just going to move right along to the 90 Day Single Life Tell All Part 2.
Okay. Yeah, if you're curious about time, we have plenty of time because we don't have a third show.
Okay, thank you. You could have told me that off air, but
You could have
great.
actually looked at the computer.
A good co-host is so hard to find these days. So hard.
You know, they can't hear you. It's
Uh,
going to be nothing.
I hope it is. Anywho, you wanna do a quick synopsis of who was in this this part 2 tell all?
Wow. You okay?
Yes.
I'm just saying you were really struggling about how to structure
No,
this.
it's like my eyes are killing me now.
Where's your glasses, Calvin, old man?
We're sitting in the dark. Okay?
Your computer lights up.
We're sitting in the dark.
Your computer lights up. Anywho, I thought that we covered more people in this tell-all, but we did not.
Evidently,
We just
we did
focused
not.
on Chantel and Natalie, apparently. Could have sworn we talked about somebody else, but we did not.
Let's hit
Chantel first or Nantel? Or
Chantel first.
Nantel.
Because they're pretty much finishing her thing.
I also don't know why they are dragging this out like this. Why are they
So-
dragging it so much?
They are
They
slut-
set this child up.
Yeah.
They go to we're talking about Chantel and her new ventures about being single after being with Pedro forever.
I'm living the
If you are not aware, Chantel was part of the early days of 90 Day Fiancé. She's on like the second or third season.
thinks it was the second.
She's early days 90 Day Fiancé. Her stint during her season spun off into her own freaking show that lasted 5 years. So she had the 90-day situation, and she had her spinoff show, Family Chantel, which was supposed to explore her life with Pedro as her husband, which it
Juicy.
sort of did.
It was juicy. It
But
was
it was
great TV. It was
toxic.
great TV.
Toxic as heck. And then it ended, as a lot of us thought it was gonna, in flames. And like flames. So now they're like, let's look at the single life as well for this girl. And they set this child up. So she's in the she's talking about Giannis.
They're slut shaming her, and then finally her mom comes out.
Miss Debbie is on a rant about how Chantel is a slut. Like the whole, like,
You
just
don't need to show these people.
don't tell them
your
you're not wearing.
underwears.
She didn't show them. She's like, don't tell them you're not wearing it.
You
Don't
should
treat
have some-
yourself like an object.
You-
Don't look for other people just as like she's
You're a beautiful
preaching
little
to the wrong
girl.
choir.
You're a beautiful girl. You don't need that kind of attention.
I just find it very interesting that this woman who got into a relationship with a 20-year-old in her 60s has all of this to say. But anyway,
Oh, by the way, still paying for his parents.
by the way, did she groom him? Anyway, so like it is insane.
Titty.
But she is going after Chantel for dressing immodestly and like just not being a proper lady for some reason. She is also from the South, so I think it was just yelling out of her. She's also a white woman, and I don't know why there's just this extra level of like, let me tell this black lady how she need to live a life. You ready? Here's what you got to do. So
like I said, Chantel mom come up like, I'm sick and tired of her going at my daughter.
no, she doesn't come out of nowhere. She gets called out. Sean goes, I heard your mom's here. And then she comes out.
She come out with all the titties and the booties. Ooh.
Did you hear her answer when Sean asked her about this new look?
No.
Did you hear what she gave as her reason?
No.
She said Pedro's family. She said Pedro's family was the reason.
What? That got the what?
So then I was like,
oh, so she saw Pedro's mom looking all juicy.
that
on
is
the final
my
season.
that is also my argument. I concur and I agree. That's the only thing I can think of, because why would Pedro's family be the jump off point for that? But I remember the internet talking about how fine Pedro's mom started looking with her little makeover. So I'm sure she was like, she's not gonna be the only one to get this.
She came out there looking like ooh.
Apparently her nipple came out. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I licked the screen a little bit.
Calvin. Anyways, Karen comes out, but she does not act the way I thought she was going to act. I was waiting for her to
It
start
was
rolling
supple.
that neck and telling off Debbie, but she doesn't do that at all. She takes on the voice of like a kindergarten teacher and it's like, well, we think that we are sexual women, okay? All of that can be part of our package. Blah, 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 da, 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 da. Then
And
they
then
jump.
She went, here's the titty. Wow.
Not really. But then they jump to Chantel's expectations with Giannis. And I was confused because Sean straight up asked Chantel, are you in a relationship with Giannis? And Chantel says, I'm single. Then Sean asks her whether or not Giannis has come out to see her. He has not. It's been a little over a year at this point.
So then they bring out Giannis. Giannis starts talking. And they're trying to say, well, pretty much they start kind of attacking him. Why hasn't he come out to see her?
Yeah.
And we're like, he has a job. He
Giannis is a
Professional
professional soccer player, aka European football, aka actual football.
and if he's not playing for a major team, I can only imagine what the schedule is for them.
Even
and
if-
he's trying to make it.
Even if you follow any kind of semi-professional sports whatsoever, there's a lot of training you got to do. There's training you got to do on top of your practice. There's a lot of time you've got to invest in the career. And you have the games you got to meet during the season, and you've got all these other events that you've got to meet out of the season. So I understand that it's a juggle to figure out how to move all that. Not to mention, it's not cheap to fly from Greece
Not only
to
that,
Atlanta.
not only that, we don't know how his season is structured. We don't know if he has like 2 months off, a month off.
If he even has that, because he's not in the majors at all. So
Exactly. So we don't know
if he's
what
doing
his
minor
schedule is.
league, it could be anything.
He might go to one team play, but then when that season ends,
Go to
another
another
team
one.
to play just
Yeah.
to try to get seen by the major professional, the big professional team to try to get called up.
on top of his other jobs because he works that club. That's how they met. He works at that club.
Okay.
So, also, it's not cheap to fly to America from another country. So,
Because Spirit don't go international.
I think it does actually. It goes to the DR all the time.
Yeah. The ground.
Almost made it. Almost
Yeah,
made it.
the ground. That's what it goes to.
Anywho, whatever. Spirit was the only one that took off in the middle of a storm and made it.
Yeah. And that's how Spirit sounds when it is in the air, too.
Someone said it's called Spirit because that's what's going to leave your body when you're on there.
Yep.
Snatching souls. Anyway. But the rest of 90 Day Single Life is giving Giannis a hard time for not prioritizing Chantel. But I'm confused as to why he should when she just said she's single. Why should she?
So then she.
Or why should he? Why?
She leaves off.
She cries. She starts crying
And
because she's, first of all the slut shaming that was happening. But then secondly, all of these, there was a question of do people think that she moved too fast after Pedro? That's what sets her off and makes her leave.
So she leaves. And then, what's the name of the host?
Sean.
Sean decides to kind of coerce.
You got to talk into the mic, my man.
So they decide to coerce Giannis into.
They don't coerce. She straight up asks him, Giannis, do you think she's ready to be in a relationship with you?
But they kind of coerce his answer.
Okay. Lead his answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he wasn't going to say, no, I don't think she's ready.
But this is right off the tail of asking her, was it too soon after Pedro? So I don't think it really was a leading question because it's not like it came out of nowhere.
It sounded like he was saying one thing else, and they guided him to say, yeah, I think she got to.
I disagree.
To me. Because we both said
it was relevant to the conversation. And then it was Sean being like, do you think Chantel's ready to date you? And when he started to spiral into the whole, well, she's a grown woman, everybody takes it at their own pace, Sean did reiterate the question. Do you think she's ready to be in a long-distance relationship with you?
They guided him into that.
I don't think it's a guide. I don't think it's a guide, though. That's where we disagree. I don't think it was guided. It was pointedly asked.
Wow. How we change when we get on this show, boy.
I'm not saying I didn't change. I don't think it was a guided question at all. It was a very pointed question. Now, was it underhanded that she did it while Chantel was not there? Yeah.
So Chantel comes back and they pretty much go over what he just said. And that's pretty much where we leave it.
Well, they kind of throw it in her face. They're like, he said he wasn't ready to be with you. Like, and it's Veronica being like, how are you going to break up with somebody who's not here? And I'm like, did he break up with her? I don't think he did. She told us she was single. She told us that she was single.
Y'all sitting there talking about how he's not making the time for her when he's working.
Also, he recognizes that he has to give her space to heal because clearly she needs it. Clearly, she's still going through it. It is fresh. She invested a lot of time into a relationship that ended in flames. She needs the break. She needs a space. But when Chantel comes back out, I would say that Sean guides Chantel into asking him, what are we? Are we moving forward into something serious? And that's when he's got to be like, I think you need more time to heal. I'll give you that one. And then she's tearing up again.
Whatever. I didn't care about that. Because I didn't catch it. So.
Also, I thought it was really interesting that Teray was like, no, Giannis seems like a nice guy. And he's the only one. Everybody else thinks he's terrible for some reason.
Do you catch what he's putting down? Yeah, I think Giannis is a cool dude.
I think so too. But also, I'm like, do you know what you got into by being on the show? Do you know what's gonna happen to you?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
But now here's the tragedy.
Interesting.
Of Josh and Natalie.
Is it a tragedy?
Yes.
Why? What makes it tragic?
Because it's taking my life. And my spirit away from me.
If for some reason you don't know who the heck this is, Natalie is the lady from Ukraine. Initially got on the show. Natalie. We originally got on the show with her relationship with a guy named Michael. They were pursuing an engagement and later a wedding for 90 Day Single Life. Also, another early days cast member. She's on the second or third season of 90 Days. Michael does not work out. And if you watched that run, editing really pointed out, for in my opinion, pointed out the flaws of Michael in the relationship. While he was enamored with Natalie, I don't think he viewed her as a person. She was a possession, and he didn't prioritize her as soon as she made it to the States. She was supposed to fall in line, live off grid with him in the middle of the sticks, which was not any of the things that she wanted. Granted, he did tell her that he's not about that Hollywood life, like, at all, and she dismissed all of that. So when she gets to America, she's like, why aren't we in the glitz and glamour part of America? I watch TV. I know it exists. And he's like, nah, look at that. It's not like that at all. They break up.
So in comes Josh.
Mind you, she's still married to this man, by the way. Not divorce. Not divorce. Just separate.
Josh is Michael on another level.
I don't know that he's Michael.
He's very possessive,
I disagree.
but he doesn't want to give her any time.
That part I'll agree with. I don't think Josh is possessive.
I think he's possessive as in he wants her there when he wants her. When he doesn't,
Okay.
he can care less what she does or where she goes.
Okay.
So
I think he likes a pet project, like his friends pointed out.
no. I think she was a good piece of tail, and he was like, you know what? I'm tired of going back and forth, flying back and forth to get my tail. I should move her closer to me. He didn't. What I don't think he expected was her mom to be with her and come. I don't think he was expecting that. Because I think if Natalie came along, I don't think we're having this discussion on the tell all that we're having.
I disagree, but I'm going to let you continue.
Because her mom's in their ear now, kicking up marriage and, hey, why is this dude, anytime you want this dude, you can't find him. He's not around. You're not doing anything together. He doesn't want to marry you. But you knew who married you and loved you and was a good family to you? Michael was.
He wasn't good to her.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think Josh counted on her mom to be with her when he moved over there.
Okay.
That's what really triggered it. So I think the mom actually made their whatever they were going through more interesting, because the mom actually started putting common sense in her ear, because she was still living in La La Land delusion, as you would say.
Okay.
So that's me with Josh, because Josh was like, I brought you to L.A. not to necessarily be with me, but to, then why'd you bring her? That's my first question.
So he
if not
says,
to be with you.
According to Josh, when Josh gets his chance to talk, he says that she moved to LA to pursue her career of acting. Remember? That's how they met. He runs a casting agency. So he runs a company where they get hired on by other entertainment companies to pick people for that entertainment company to then pick from for whatever they're trying to cast.
And what I'm telling you is, that was partially why she came, but the main reason she came was for him.
I agree with that.
But for him to say, I don't know why you came, because I told you not to come there for me, doesn't make sense to me when you're the one fitting the bill for her to come.
So that's why I said he likes a Build-A-Bitch project. So in my opinion, I think he did know about her mom. In the other single life, the war was just breaking out in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And she was worried about her mom.
But I don't
and
think
Josh was there about it. Josh was right there listening to all of that.
But I don't think he knew the mom was coming to stay with her.
No, he knew that, because where else was she going to stay?
Yeah.
Because remember, to get back at him at the tell-all for the other single life or whatever, she talked about how Michael stepped up to help her mom come to the States.
Yeah,
so I think he was well aware that she was coming.
I don't think he thought. I think he thought the mom was coming for a little while and then going back eventually. I don't. Think
How? The war is still breaking out.
Yeah, but I don't think Josh thinks that far. I think he thought she was just coming for a little while.
I don't think Josh was as surprised about the mom being there as you think he was.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Well, we disagree.
But I also agree with you that why would she be there if it wasn't for him? I absolutely agree with you on that.
That's
his story that she was coming out just to pursue this career really didn't make a lot of sense. She wasn't even making a lot of strides in Florida. How was she going to do this
Number one.
in
Number two,
LA?
she has nothing. No headshots, no management,
No, she does. She has headshots.
she has no management, no nothing.
True.
So why did he think she was just coming there and just what she could do? Walk around and just walk into
According to Natalie during the show, Josh was telling her he was going to find her all that, remember? He was going to find her a job.
once
He was
again.
going to link her up with his friends that were in the industry. That's why she randomly did Shakespeare at a dinner. So, according to Natalie, Josh was going to set up all of that. And we watched him get her an apartment, get her the car, help fund her move to come down there, put down a deposit, all kinds of crazy behind things. Later in the tell-all, this current tell-all, we find out Natalie got into a car accident and he came to, to help her.
Yes.
Ah,
So
the end of Single Life is her breaking up with Josh. Then we find out her and Josh are still talking. Then we find out she had just spent the night at Josh's
and I was
prior
correct.
to the tell-all.
I said they'll be right back together.
Yep.
You said no. I said
I
they're
did say
going
no. I
to
thought
be
Natalie was going to
back together.
stand on business, but she did not. The questioning around Natalie, especially around Josh, it's starting to irk me. It's really starting to irk me when she does this coy, like, I don't know, you got to ask him. Like, she doesn't have any accountability for the situation that she's in. When you ask Natalie about her relationship with Josh, she absolutely pins it all on him and is like, he has to tell me, I want this. I've told him up front that I want this, this, and that. And he doesn't want to provide those things. This, and that is be in a committed relationship. Have him at least take her seriously enough that she meets his kids and actually see his home.
She's never
She
seen
still
his
has
home,
not seen his home.
which is insane.
But yet she keeps going back to him, even
That'd
though
be
he
the-
won't do those
That'd be
things.
the cheapest way to keep her is to actually bring her into your house.
And when Josh, for whatever reason, comes to the tell-all, of course the cast is like around Natalie. They're like, "Why would you do this, Josh? Why are you playing her like this?" Yada. And Josh is fending for his life. He's like, "It's not like that. It's like this." And he's explaining that like his hesitancies to commit to Natalie like that is because he feels that she doesn't have the maturity. It's not stopping him from sleeping with her, but it is stopping him from allowing her to be around his children. He says she has too many emotional outbursts.
So then, what's his face goes, look her, Natalie. This is what he's trying to tell you.
John,
John said, you know what, Natalie? This guy, he might care about you, but he ain't gonna marry you. Darker.
that's not what he didn't even say care. Oh no, he did. He does say care, but he's like, oh, okay, you'll sleep with her and you care about her, but you're not going to, date her, is what he says. You're not going to be in a committed relationship with her, which
then-
is true.
And then they bring out
Josh's friends.
Josh's
I
nemesis.
refuse to learn their names.
And first they bring out Josh's nemesis, Miss
Debbie.
Old Debbie, Colty Debbie.
It was so random. They're like, we brought Caesar and Debbie out for what?
Oh yeah, I forgot Caesar come out.
For what?
I don't know why. I had to say the Jamaican
Because he
way.
doesn't say anything. Caesar is from another 90 Day Fiance
And he
series.
only dates
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian women.
No, because he dated that. No, she was Ukrainian too. I thought she
Yes.
was South American.
Nope.
He went to South America
Yes.
to get ghosted. I thought they should have if they were going to bring out Caesar, they should have brought him out during the Tyree segment. Do that.
So Miss Debbie.
So they can talk to each other.
So Miss Debbie's reading Josh for filth,
I
per usual.
I forgot, but Debbie and Josh got into it in the last Single Day tell all. She
Yeah.
went for him hard in the last one. So I got why they brought her out again, because they were like, do it again.
So
Let's
then
see.
after that they bring out Josh's asshole friends,
For real.
Um,
His business partners.
and they're like, they don't like her because she's getting in the way of the money and she's taking Josh's time.
You had to talk on the mic. I don't know why you
She's
keep
taking
leaning
away
away.
Josh's time and Josh's money,
Calvin.
and they don't like it. But my thing is, they say every time we're at a meeting and it's calls, it's Natalie not needing a ride or not knowing how to get around. She's not familiar with L.A. Of course, she's gonna call and ask him to whatever. She knows no one else. What do you expect? He brought her there.
So I would I give you that, but I also got to think about how Josh is explaining to them who she is. Because she's never met them. Remember, she meets them at the tell all. So I can only imagine that they're only hearing the bad things about Natalie. And then it's being reinforced by the fact that she is clingy. She's calling nonstop. She's demanding his time. She's demanding that he cover and pay for stuff. I I don't they seem aware of the fact that they hint at that Josh has a history of projects. That's what they call her. They call her a project. He's
Give
got
me
a
a project chick.
no, not that kind of project, but meaning a build a bitch. They're talking about how Josh has a tendency to get in relationships with women that he wants to help. That's what he keeps saying. I just want to help. I just want to help and help set him up and blah 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 blah.
He just want to help himself to some. Say.
But you don't have to spend all that money. Anyway, but so Josh is like, I'm just a nice guy. And his friends reiterate, oh, he is a nice guy because the rest of the cast starts to gang up on him again. And the cast is, then Debbie asks one of the friends, like, why do you guys hate her so much? Like, why do you hate her so much? You haven't even met her. Why do you hate her? And the guy backtracks. He goes from being like, because she's needy, she's, stopping our money, da 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 da, blah, 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 blah. And then he backtracks and tries to be nice about it. And when Debbie calls him out on backtracking, he's like, well, I was just sugarcoating it. I judge people for a living. This is nothing for me. And it was like, I don't understand what's happening.
That has absolutely no shit to do with
What
no
is
shit.
happening? And he's like, I know you've been around for a long time. And Debbie's like, yeah, no shit. I'm old. Like, what are you talking about?
I've been on this planet for 79,000 years.
And like, it's getting heated between the friends and Debbie and Josh and the other cast members that are like, what the hell is your problem? Because 90 Day Tell All isn't shit. And they played a clip of the two friends going after Josh and just bagging on Natalie, who they've never met, nonstop, talking about how she's a money grubber, basically.
So then Tim basically tries to tell her that he's giving you money and he's treating you like you're a whore.
That's not what he said. That is not what he said.
That's what he was trying to say.
That is absolutely how Natalie took it, but that's not what he was saying.
The way he said it, it was like, you're a whore.
But he said it in the context of the sugar daddy comment that came first. That's what set all of this conversation in motion was, which one was it? Either Chantel. Yeah, Chantel. Chantel said this is giving sugar daddy vibes. Because she's asking Josh, why are you footing the bill for all this stuff?
If you don't want to be in a relationship.
Right. And he's like, I just want to help her. And she's like, it's giving sugar daddy. And then Veronica jumps in and says, yeah. Because Natalie says, I don't know what a sugar daddy is. And they're like, Josh is a sugar daddy. Like, he gives you a lot of money. He's not going to be committed to you. And he wants sex in exchange. And then it's Natalie going like, no, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know who Josh is. You got to ask Josh. And then it's Tim trying to sum it all up. And he makes it sound like she's a whore. That's what that is. He's like, what we're saying is, you just told us you slept with him the night before. And you're giving her all this money. And she flips. She flips hard. And she's like, why are you calling me a whore? Why would you do this? And she's clearly mad at the wrong person. I don't know what's happening. But I also know that she is trying to translate everything as she's understanding it and stay in the conversation. But then she does the Natalie thing where like the tears are coming and she's being nonsensical. And did you see how Josh reacted?
No.
Did you catch it?
No. He goes, there you go again or something like that?
No, he runs on her defense. He starts trying to calm her down. Like frantically starts trying to calm her down.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
But it's also like trained, like it's not new. He starts like trying to stop her before she keeps talking, tells her to take the breath. That's not what's happening. Like immediately goes on the defense, which tells me that this is probably one of the types of meltdown that he sees when it's just the two of them over whatever it is that they're talking about. So,
but that's what she does.
I agree. We've seen it on the show many times, many times. It's not new. But I also don't understand why she thinks she can get blood from a stone. Like it's repeating. We're repeating again. The other thing the internet is in
actually you can't get blood from a stone. If you squeeze it hard enough, it's just gonna be your blood.
What?
What?
That kind. Okay.
Mm.
That kind of
Think
fine. That
about
kind
it.
of works.
Think about it. Mm.
Bizarre. Anyway,
The
so
old country riddle right there. That's a country riddle.
I know this ancient show isn't done yet because they're gonna bring out Michael. Michael's coming at some point. The other hot topic about
Swear to
Natalie.
God, if Michael comes, I'm gonna break my old TV.
The other hot topic about Natalie, especially during this season, is that when she did break up with Josh, she called up Mike at the behest of her mother. Her mother was like, "Remember, Michael? Now you single. You should call Mike again." She does call Michael. Michael is responsible for her helping her mom get back to the States. She also wants a baby. She asks Michael, maybe they can get together in the future and try for a baby. And it's Michael being like, no, like we broke up.
You was with somebody the whole time. I'm like, bitch, you were with somebody too.
You absolutely were, Michael. But he's like, it's a taste of her in the show. He's like, it's a taste of her own medicine. She got everything she wanted, and now she's finding it lacking. Blah 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 blah. Karma. However, he's like, I'm gonna pursue the divorce. I have 1,000 questions. Why didn't Michael pursue the divorce in the first tell-all when he found out she was moving forward with Josh?
Money.
Two, Natalie's reaction to that was that no, they should stay married legally for now in case they get back together. She doesn't want him to divorce at all. 3, how is she going to pursue a serious relationship with Josh if she's married to Michael? How's that going to work? How's that work?
She lives in delusion.
So crazy. Come on, Natalie. I'm trying to root for you, but you're making it really hard. Anywho.
I root for drama.
Whatever works.
And 90% of the time, 98% of the time, I win.
Well, okay, so do you still think that she's a child?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think so. I disagree. I
Yes.
disagree.
She's an adult child when it comes to relationships.
The only
The way she acts and how she doesn't take accountability for her putting herself in these predicaments and picking the same dudes over and over again. And then have the willful ignorance of, how did I get here?
So I don't
know.
In my opinion, children don't make the same mistake more than once.
Yeah, they do.
I don't think so. You put your hand on a hot stove, you don't then put your hand back on that hot stove. You know what I mean?
Depends on that dumb child.
I'm just saying, most children have other people around them that they listen to. They follow them. As an adult, you have the option to not listen to anybody.
Well, they do, especially if that person I knocked them upside the head a couple of times.
Okay, but as an adult, you don't have to listen to anybody. Which you get to live in your grand delusion at that point. You get to be like,
True.
Yeah, he spit in my face, but that was love. Love made that happen, and I'm gonna stick by him.
He also spit somewhere else, and I liked it.
That was so inappropriate. So
Yes, it's an inappropriate podcast.
it's not anyway. Supposedly this tell-all is because this tell-all is to be continued. We're on the 2nd episode. I don't remember the tell-alls being this many episodes. Weren't they only 2?
They're gonna stretch this out because this is the only thing they got going.
They don't. They're currently doing Happily Ever After right now.
No one's watching, apparently.
Oh, I mean, that's probably because we're exhausted. It's Jasmine and Gino again. It's like, I don't care. It's Sophie and Rob also don't care. Like, no one cares about the couples that are on this season. Who cares? But yeah, I'm just excited for another 90 day. When we get the next 90 day. Oh, did you hear the rumor that Angela is kicked off the show now? I don't know how true that is. Allegedly.
Oh, old big titty Angela?
Yep.
Gross. Did she try to kill Michael?
Allegedly. Allegedly.
That's why she probably got kicked off the show, because she probably did try to kill that dude.
Oh, you think they found like actual
Yes. She probably said
confirmation?
Fuck that racist shit too.
She's been saying that though. Like that's not new. The racist stuff is not new. That's not new. And they kept her on. They kept her on for a long time. It feels like the final straw was the murder allegation.
Yeah, I think she tried to kill that dude. And they got evidence of her trying to possibly
They
kill
were
that
like,
dude.
ooh, okay, now we have to part. But it's also alleged. There's no formal statement that has come out saying that she's no longer with the show. That is rumor mill. So who knows? But yeah, that mess of a tell-all was it for us. Calvin is falling asleep on his mic.
Angela reminds me of that scene at the end of Beetlejuice with that I guess he's like a jungle trapper or whatever, one of the jungle people to be in the jungle.
What?
Those people in the jungle,
The hunter?
yeah. And he had his head shrunk by the little the juju man,
He's called a. They call him a voodoo priest in Beetlejuice.
voodoo priest, shrunk that dude head. That's how Angela heads look. Head look like that little shrunken head dude. Said all that to say this. I have nothing else to say.
What? Oh, also Beetlejuice 2 is coming out. Speaking of Beetlejuice.
And it looks pretty good.
It does. Michael Keaton's back. I'm excited.
Looks a little dark.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for this insane tell-all. I can't believe there's going to be a third part to this. What could they possibly talk? Oh, no, John. They still have to talk about
You
John.
just have to go to John. They still have to finish with Natalie. They still got to go John.
They got to finish Tim.
They
Luis is
also
supposed to come
gotta
back out.
do Tim.
Okay. Why? Why are we taking so long? Tell-all. Why are we taking so
They
long?
also have a girl coming for Torre.
For Teray?
Yeah,
Who's Torre?
same dude.
Wait, going to be on the show?
Yeah. Next, part 3, some girl supposed to come out for Torre.
Teray?
Whatever. Who cares? The dude that needs a bra. That's his name.
That is so fucked up.
That's his name.
That's so fucked up.
I think they found the girl Nicole. No, I guess the girl he was talking to at the end on the season. The drunk girl he met at the bar that he was talking to.
I'm still upset about your fat phobia. Continue.
Whatever. I've said very worse.
Yeah, I know. But I'm holding you accountable. Pistol.
Bra, bra, bra.
So messed up.
So that girl, I guess she's coming on in part 3, and then I think they might touch Tim. Hopefully they get to Tim, but I think they're gonna finish Josh and Natalie. Then Torre's gonna have his little thing with that girl. I mean, lady. I don't know what I'm calling the girl, lady. And then hopefully we might start Tim. If we don't start Tim in the third part, then who knows how long this is gonna go.
The rumor mill is there's going to be 4 or 5 episodes.
I don't understand how they can. That means they're gonna stretch Josh. They still have the other guy,
John.
So okay, yeah. So they probably could do John, a bunch of John, because his brother and I guess his fiance or his brother gonna come out and talk.
Well, the fiance's coming out too. Fiance's
Okay.
coming out and brother.
Okay. So they're all gonna come out.
Well, we're calling her the fiance. I don't know that he proposed to her.
They're all coming out. Then you got Torre with his little segment. with
Teray.
Bra, bra, bra.
Calvin, stop.
I keep saying the name. You keep correcting me. Stop correcting me.
You're saying the wrong name.
Whatever. He's gonna come on with I guess the girl from the lady from the bar, the last lady he talked to at the bar. Then
You're a bully.
I think they're gonna go to finish up with Tim. I think Tim and Jolisa, that's her name, are gonna be long.
It's Louisa. I don't know
Louisa.
where you're getting Jaleesa
sorry.
from. This is not a black woman. This is a woman from South America.
Jolisa. Anywho, I think that's gonna be long.
I don't know how.
I
They were barely in single life.
because I think Veronica and Jamal gonna add their 2 cents too.
Oh, you think Jamal's coming back?
Yes.
Do you think Jamal's going to be like, or do you think Sean's going to be like, so we heard you two are together now?
I wouldn't be shocked.
I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't know that that's
would
going to happen.
not be shocked.
I don't know that that's going to happen. But it would be hilarious.
Are you gonna call it? Are you calling it?
That they're together? No, I'm calling the proposal because eons ago on the first tell-all,
Oh, they still have.
they said that they're in tell-all history, someone's going to propose.
They also still have Miss Debbie and
Dang it.
what's
they
it?
do.
And
Ruben.
Ruben. I don't want to say Ruben the Cuban, so I'm trying to remember his name. without
Wow,
doing the Cuban
you're going to
part,
hold back on that, but you're going to go in on Teray, and very interesting.
because he should be off. He should be sitting on the sidelines. He don't need to be sitting up there. He's done, to me. But yeah, they still got her to go. because they haven't even touched her yet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's gonna be 5.
I'm sad.
Yeah, it's gonna be 5.
I'm sad.
As long as it's good 5, because the first 2 have been good. You
No, they haven't. I don't
So
think
you
they've
haven't
been
liked them?
good. The first one, the Veronica Jamal follow-up, fine. The touch on Teray, didn't understand. Calling in the dating coach, didn't understand.
No one understands that one.
The touch on Chantel, because they also spent a nice portion on Chantel.
Yes.
In the first one,
Yes.
only to do it again in the second one. I didn't
Yes.
I didn't understand that.
Because Giannis didn't make the first one. No, did her mom.
But he was ready. He was at the ready, is my thing. But I guess they were like, we're not going to put that all together. So
Yes.
we're just going to
Yes.
drag this out. It feels like we're watching this unedited. In my opinion, it feels like they were like, we could cut this down, but let's not. Let's just put all of it out there. We're just going to do it all of it. However many episodes it takes. Which makes me wonder, did nobody watch the season? Was 90 Day Single Life, the season itself, not really watched? But they know people are going to tune in for the tell-all. So they're like, let's string out this tell-all.
I think people tuned into the season finale
Mm-hmm.
and then the tell-all.
Because that's what we said. We're like, forget it. We're not going to watch the next season. We're just going to watch the tell-all
So,
and see how that went.
That's probably why. Because the tell-all damn near about the same length of the season.
Well, to be fair, the 90 Day Single, or not, yeah, 90, no, not 90 Day Single Life, the regular 90 Day show. I didn't even watch it, but I watched their tell-all. So I wouldn't put it past them for them to be like,
I watched
let's do it.
A lot of the 90 days. The first one created. I watched a lot of those. That's when we got crazy ass Angela.
So we got a lot of people at that time where it was
Yeah.
like, what?
The dude from the 2 dudes from South Africa and the 2 black girls.
Okay. The 2 dudes from South Africa?
Yeah.
I know the
The gambler and the drunk.
but they didn't get with black. Both of them did not get with black girls. Only one guy got with a black girl.
The girl from Maryland.
Yeah.
She was Hispanic. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought she. I said
I'm like,
black.
was there another one? Because question. I wonder if they ever got the divorce. Because she was in another single life, and they were still working on it. They still weren't formally divorced.
The drunk dude from Africa.
No. Yeah. Was he drunk? I don't know.
Yeah, he used to drink a lot, and
But-
then he was a free spirit.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot her name.
I just remember her being really mad because the guy she was interested in on her little vacation was like, so are you divorced? And she was like, no, but it's understood that we're not together. And he was like, okay, pass. So and she got upset.
She has a. She just got a flat back. Oh, her back is. She has airbags.
Oh gosh.
I think.
Let's wrap it up. So that's it. That's it
Yeah,
for the tell-all.
Yeah, because they had a lot of good 90-day episodes. It's just the single life. It's just this one didn't hit like some of the others.
Because, in my opinion, this was erratic. It was erratic. And the people they chose to really focus on, Chantel, Natalie, who have been their mainstays, didn't really have compelling storylines. It was just repeats of what we've seen of them before. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the beginning of Chantel was a little, interesting because we just came off the tail end of her final season with the family Chantel and her and Pedro's ending of their marriage. But it was very clear there wasn't a whole lot of story for Chantel for the rest of this season.
So, the next single life, they're gonna bring back No Neck, aka Bonnie Rebel.
Allegedly, Sophie's gonna be in the next single life. Sophie and Rob. She's
Sophie.
the British black girl who married the crazy man who lived in a storage closet and got mad at her because she's like, why do you have a shared bathroom outside?
In a single life?
She's going to be in single life, allegedly.
Oh. Okay. The girl from L.A. that married the dude from L.A.
What I just said, yes.
Okay, I got it confused. Okay. I think she'll be good TV. I think she'll be good.
It's all alleged, though. Some people are saying that her and Rob are still married. This is just for clout. Like, this is her pretending to be
okay.
single. Allegedly.
Okay.
Other people are saying, nah, she's really done with Rob, so that's why she's moving on to this. Allegedly. Other people are saying that this was the plan all along. They both wanted clout for social media purposes, and they're both going to go their separate ways now that they've met that demand. Allegedly. Who knows?
Okay. Um, we should suspect who we think gonna be in Single Life the next season. So here's the people I think is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
I think the girl we was talking about that was with the dude that was a free spirit South African dude.
Okay.
I can't remember her name. I think she's gonna be on there.
That's very random. It's a random pick.
You said Sophie.
Yeah.
Let me give you. It's like at least 3 or 4 people, right? Normally.
Normally, yeah.
So my thing is that girl, the girl from Maryland.
Oh, you think Natalie's coming back? That's her. That's no
Yeah,
Tiffany. Her name's Tiffany.
Tiffany. I want to say that black girl from Miami might come back.
What black girl from Miami?
The black girl from Miami who was dating she's from Atlanta. She was dating the Middle Eastern dude,
She was not from Miami.
and they went on the 4-wheel and she fell off and almost killed
Yeah.
herself.
I don't think she's coming back. Something happened with that chick. Like serious.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think she's coming back.
well, Sophie, and they gotta have a white girl. They gotta have one.
I feel like Ed's making a comeback at some point.
Not Ed, but Ed, the girl Ed was engaged to.
Okay, you think maybe her?
Yeah. Or
I don't
Ed.
know.
Or Ed.
I don't know.
I don't put it past them. They put both of them on there.
I don't know. I think they're still in their toxic cycle of like, we're not together, but we're together. But we are not together,
So-
but we are together.
Who you think gonna make the?
My hope, my dream roster,
Yeah.
the chick from Mexico who married that guy who really had no business marrying her. The age gap. She was in the
Yeah.
very first Single Life.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
I want her to come back. I think they're going to bring Natalie back again. They're going to continue this Josh saga.
I swear. I would,
Chantel's coming back.
This
Her
is-
and Giannis are not going to work out, and she's going to do it again.
This will be the first time I write a letter.
And Sophie. And Sophie's coming back. That's my roster.
I'm gonna write a letter. And I'm also gonna leave comments on the internet.
I think they're also going to try to include a guy again.
I think it's gonna be Bonnie Rebel. No Nick.
I don't know, because I think he's still with what's her face. I think they're still doing the in and out of that.
What's the dude? His girl. He kissed him or made it or messed around with another girl. Then his wife went and slept with another dude. They were in the thing with Angela them.
They're in that cycle.
Yeah, he's from Samoa, American Samoa.
Oh, it's Suelu.
Asuelu. I think Asuelu's gonna be on there.
Well,
Or her, or one of them gonna be on there.
but there's also allegation of sexual abuse with Suelu. I don't know that they're going to do that
Really?
by his wife, former wife, ex-wife.
Then she's not gonna be on there. Then.
I agree.
Maybe the sister. Well, no.
I can't see Kalani coming in as the sister doing
I
that.
swear. Okay, well,
It'd be
Caesar.
interesting if they brought a Suelu back, but I don't
Caesar.
think they're gonna.
Caesar.
Ugh. How do you know he's single? Maybe he got with that Ukrainian. Maybe he got with that Ukrainian girl.
Maybe you need to give the Ukrainian girl a call, Natalie. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know who I would love for it to be on there? The girl who's married to the guy from New Orleans, and I hate him so much. You call her White Beyonce.
Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about
I would love her to be on Single Life.
What is it? Jody?
Jody. Is it Jody?
Is it Jody?
It's something dumb because
Jody.
I hate his face.
The way she say his name sound like Jody or Joey.
It does, or like Judy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's something of that name. Her. I would love, but I know that she's still happily married to them, so that's not gonna happen. But yeah, that's it. That's it for the tell-all. That's probably continuing for the rest of our lives. So yeah, anything else you want to add?
Nope.
All right. Thank you for listening to We Like That podcast.
So we like that.
Go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know you want to, and rate us 5 stars. I'm Javon.
I'm Calvin.
Later, people.
And we're out.